You can, hopefully it should be fine. Where do I even start? I just thought it would start with what the people have to say about what they think. I also don't want to get started and there's nobody in here. Good afternoon to the people. To the people that are watching, good afternoon to the people that are looking. Come on in the room if you have something to say about Kanye West. Not just something to say. I would like to think this is a safe space over here at the Kelly Collective, and I welcome all opinions and ideas. But I love an environment and I love an environment where people are open-minded and can contribute to the conversation in a fruitful and thoughtful way, because it's easy to just feel one type of way about or feel one type of way about something or feel any type of way about anything if all you're getting is the narrative from one perspective. If you don't seek information from multiple sources, or if you don't seek information for your own understanding, then you will fall. If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. And that's that's the foundation of Kanye West, period. If you don't stand for anything, you will fall for everything. And it was people like his mother and his father that encouraged him to stand on who he was, regardless of what anybody else thought. And that's the thing, like, we have to consider Kanye as an individual. I've said this before in a live. Make sure you join the lives. I've also started a subscription plan, and this will probably be the last time. I don't know how this works exactly, but I will only start doing live via subscriptions. So that's it, because we do a lot on the lives, and the subscriptions get a more intimate setting. So be notified. Welcome, Shorty. Too much. Be notified on that. But Kanye is black. He's a black man. Kanye is a black gifted man. Kanye is a black gifted wealthy man. Welcome in Texas. Hello in Texas. I'm getting down there eventually. Kanye is many things. He's a wealthy, black, gifted father. You know, he's many, many things. And he's a Gemini. So you have to be a Gemini or understand Geminis to understand all those things to create the individual that Kanye is. Yes, Kanye's black, but do you always have to be like, to my black people, and for me too, do we not get annoyed? Are we always, at some point, thank you so much, I'm glad you appreciated that. I got more coming for sure. I'm working on a couple ladies right now. Just want to get all the ducks in order. But I appreciate that. Yeah, shout out to the gems, okay? You have to understand that. And then, but and race is not always a factor. I don't always expect someone to be black, someone who is black to be pro-black. I don't expect every person who's white to be racist. I don't expect every person of Middle Eastern descent or something like that, a woman, to wear the cultural garbs. You can't expect the one thing that you think, because that's what was presented to you, or that's what you think is a standard, how somebody should live, somebody should think, somebody should act. That's not fair. And it's also not a very well-rounded American experience. You have to understand, as an American, everybody lives conducive to how they were raised or whatever they were created to be. Kanye was created. Kanye was encouraged. Kanye was validated for his contributions as an influential, creative person that people sought out for what he provided. That's Kanye West. Period. Yeah, he's black. Hey, Natasha, my love. Yeah, he's black. I don't expect him. If the black people, I'm not going to try to, because that's, we get into the slander. I don't want to get into the slander, but things like I'm not always pro-black. You're acting crazy. You're doing too much. You're showing out. You're giving us a bad representation. That's that sort of thing. And people feel that way about Kanye West, but Kanye been the same the whole entire time. Kanye has been the same person the entire time. And if there's any, if you need any second guessing, if you second guess that, if you need any validation, you watch the goddamn Genius documentary on Netflix, which he is not a part of. The person that recorded that was sold. I don't know if they might suspend my stuff because they might think I'm anti-Semitic. And I don't want to get suspended. Make sure y'all got to follow my backup page. I got to post that up somewhere because I can't. I don't want to be suspended because it's Semitic. But it's just the whole idea. Support the channel too. Thank you so much. The whole idea. Just because I voice an opinion, that doesn't mean I'm one thing. Just if a white person says black people get on a train and start acting crazy, that white person is not racist. That white person is aware. I know, don't get suspended. But that's the thing. That's where we are. And those are the bigger things. Like I told you, Kanye West doing these things, the shirts and the comments, even from back when George Bush doesn't like black people, those are the bees. There's a beehive somewhere that needs to be addressed. Kanye's things are a distraction and the annoyance from what the beehive is. The cause of the beehive is a separate situation. That is the thing that needs the attention. So Kanye making very valid statements that white lives matter. That's true. The Hughes run entertainment and are influential part of business and monopolize it. That's true. My wife's family took my kids straight from it. That's true. I find a problem. My problem is that because, like I said before too, if I'm gonna I can get on say watching him and Kanye's a bit misogynistic. He's a bit whatever, but that is no different than anybody else in the industry. That is no different than anybody like Fabulous. That is no different than anybody like Idris Elba. That is no different than anybody like Leonardo DiCaprio that go out there and use their influence to make women do the things they want them to do. That's that. And I bring Idris Elba in there because he screwed K. Michelle and whatever the case may be. So he was out there screwing the people with the big butts and stuff like that. So that's why I bring Idris Elba in there. But it's no different. And the fact that Kanye has all of this influence, all of this power that companies seek him out to work with him. It's not like Kanye's sitting there and putting a team together to work with him. No, people seek Kanye West out for his influence because they know what's going to generate revenue, it's going to generate a resurgence and interest and things like that. That's that right there. So when he says things, and I got to give a shout out to Masika Kalia, who she always ranting, and maybe I might want to pay more attention. I don't know, but she really put it together for me last night, and I'm getting something together here. When she said Kanye has he not been speaking for months about getting out of these deals because people think they could treat him and talk to him any sort of kind of way. So when it comes to the shirt, okay, that's not that bad. When it comes to whatever else okay, that's not that bad. We'll keep him. But to violate the morality clause, he had to go above and beyond. For people to understand that he wants to be a part of his kid's life, he had to buy the house across the street. To let the people know that he is a part of his kid's life, he had to buy a fucking fire truck and take them to school. He's grandiose, he's a Gemini, he do big things. He gets bored, he does things slashy. He wants people to take notice because if they don't take notice, if they don't talk about it, they think he's not doing anything. And what the big point was on the Drink Champs interview, that's like I tell you guys, there's no, when I said it about Kevin Hart and the whole he was cheating on Anika and the girl came, there's no way that a celebrity with so much to lose, your manager constantly in your ear, your publicist constantly in your ear, your lawyer constantly in your ear about things that you need to do to maintain this, to keep that, to move that, to do that. There's no way you risk all of that without having somebody sign a non-disclosure agreement so that they can't even discuss the time in which y'all met together, the car in which she got it together, the hotel, can't discuss a thing. There's no way on God's green earth that Kanye knew it, because Kanye been every interview he says the same thing. He don't deter from the script because, like I said too, he is an individual, but at the same time, considering the position that he's in, a product of his environment, and that's just where he is because he wanted to be in this element of fame, so he had to play the game to some degree. And right now, he's still playing the game, but still dropping these goddamn nuggets. But people are so concerned about the shirt. What the fuck is who cares about the shirt? No, if nobody buys the shirt, who cares about the shirt? People are worried about the influence, like I said, the influence of Kanye West. That's the bigger deal. That's the bigger thing. Somebody like him can't wear that shirt because then people will start to think some type of other. When Kanye West said slavery is a 400 years of slavery, it sounds like a decision to me. Does that not invoke thought? 400 years of people treating people, and at no point it took one lady like Rosa Parks to do it invokes thought. And if you take the time to research it, if you take the time to understand it, you might come out on the other side of that with a new idea. You might come out on the other side of that a little bit more encouraged, a little bit more educated. You might come out of that with a better understanding of who you are, where you came from, or where you're going. That's what I just said. To get out of the contracts, he has to do something crazy. He has to do something that'll get the people talking, so that things like this will happen. Do you not think, like somebody said too, ain't nobody buying shell-toe Adidas? And then I seen a video too. They were talking about niggas fucking whatever, and he got his J's on and stuff like that. That's Nike. But now that niggas is fucking in Yeezys, nobody's fucking in shell toes. So that's what I mean. Resurgence to the brand, the interest, the money, and the fact that they even taken the shoes off the shelves. Do you not think they made their money 4, 10, 100 times over so they could? Because at the end of the day, people, whether you with the brand or not, every piece of product you want to recoup the money you got from that. And Kanye created the brand, the product, and the people are going to buy that. That's still money to his pocket. You can agree to disagree, and that's fine. But agreeing to disagree doesn't go hand in hand with voicing opinions, completely slandering him, or just following the narrative of the media. Those two don't go hand in hand. Because if you agree to disagree with Kanye, if I'm getting this, but if you agree to disagree with Kanye West, then you don't even involve yourself in the whole thing. You don't involve yourself in the situation at all. Because honestly, like I said before, when Kanye West talks, and he talks about the Tremaines and the Boweries and the Mantine Rose and the Bernard Arnaults and those, if you don't know those names, you have no idea what the fuck Kanye's talking about. You have no idea the rooms that he's been in that influences decisions, influences career, influence anything. You have no idea. So you can't even speak on it. Don't even speak on it ignorantly, because then that only fuels the people. And I realize that in the comments of my videos, people speak ignorantly. 1, to get any type of reaction. 2, to just be a part of something. And 3, because they just don't know. They just going off what they feel. They're going off what's presented to them. And that extremely intelligent, Kanye is many things. A black, intelligent, wealthy, influential father. And all those things play into part in the character that is before us right now. And it's a character because, I mean, this is just where he is. It just is what it is. And he's not like the Solanges or the other people that are like behind the scenes writing the songs and, you know what I'm saying, doing the things like that and influencing the culture and things like that. He is the person that they needed, that he was the perfect person that they needed to create all of this chaos that is going on right now. Whether it's a distraction, not even whether, because it is a distraction. But the takeaway is that is not that he's crazy. A corporate entity. The takeaway is not that he's crazy. The biggest takeaway is what he's saying. And if you take the time to research it, if you take the time to weave the stories together, because it was Masika Kalia's post that said that he'd been trying to get out of these contracts. And then immediately after that, there's Antonio Brown, who's the president of Donda Sport. Blew my mind. Blew my mind. Antonio Brown been stripping on the stage, on the things. Then he was in Dubai on the rooftop pool with the women with the penis out. Morality clauses. This drops him. They drop him. This drop him. But he's still at the head. All of that is not coincidental. Ew. All of that is not, there's no piece of coincidence in that. It is a finely orchestrated game. And the outcome of this is the thing that I'm waiting for. But like I said, there's pieces of this. There's pieces of this that that are pertinent. I mean, like, you could really learn something from this. Even when Kanye West, the goddamn song, many of his songs, I just put a post on Facebook, like, I don't understand how people have jumped shit from Kanye West when they were fans. When Kanye been singing, acting, talking, doing the same things from college dropout or early registration, whichever one came first. He been doing the same thing. When he said George Bush don't like black people, when he said when he get on and leave your ass for a white girl, and he married fucking Amber Rose. Well, he was with Amber Rose. Then he married Kim Kardashian. And people will still form. Oh yeah. And people get burnt up. And like I said, it goes back into when he was on Drink Champs, and he said to Nori, when they kidnapped my kids in broad daylight. Acrobat for the Rags, hey. When they took my kids in broad daylight and nobody said anything, that is where we're at. And now that everybody's anti-Semitic, Kim sitting, well, not anti-Semitic, but the anti-Semitic statements come out. Kim want to mix and mingle with Pete Davidson again because that that disconnects her from any idea that she would be entertaining Kanye West. And then for her to meet with Ivanka Trump, Kanye been talking about Ivanka Trump this whole entire time. The biggest thing to take away from this is not that Kanye's crazy. It's how things are playing out. Not you learn more about the midterm elections. Lash up a lot. La shop a lot. LA shop a lot. Hey, welcome. Those are the takeaways. You have to see it. And if you can't categorize the statements or understand, like I said, if you don't understand the people that he's talking about, you're not going to get it. When he says Joshua Kushner has more percentage in my wife's clothing line, the one that I created, the one that I influenced, the one that I creative directed, more than I do, you have no idea what he's going through or how that makes them feel. You wouldn't get it. Say the same thing about the $145,000 wigs. If you never spent $2,000 on yourself to blow, you have no idea how somebody could spend $145,000 on one thing. You can't comprehend that. And I'm not saying that as a dig, but that's just the facts of understanding. You have to experience it to understand it. Or you have to even, like I said, open yourself up to the idea that things are a lot different or could be a lot different than how you experience things. To understand how somebody else could be. When Kanye doesn't want abortion, Kanye thinks, he believes, which is not a problem, and that you got to respect the people, because I'm all about respect here. When it comes to pronouns and they nouns and how somebody wants to be perceived, you just respect somebody for who they want to be, and then you will be respected in turn. That's just the foundation of it. But Kanye West thinks he's the greatest. Kanye knows the impact of his influence. His mother and his father discussed with him that they were going to abort him at one time. He is now against abortion because how could they abort me? Imagine if I wasn't in the world. What would the world be? He is against abortion. That's okay because that's his experience. That's not another piece or another block on the pyramid that for people to want to crumble down. That's his experience. That's his life. That is what he believes for himself. And are we not all entitled for one, free speech, but also do we not have the ability to function and live and believe how we choose to function, live, and believe? Granny and Annex, very, very self-aware. That's it. We all should be as self-aware as Kanye West. And that is the one thing that they continue to do. I told you this before. When Kanye was buying that land up and wanted to create those communities, that is when, and they started to shut that shit down. That is when he started to, okay, well, let me say this, and let me do that, and let me just get it. Let me start to drop these nuggets here, and for the people that get it, the people that get it, and the people that don't, they don't. And the people that don't get it, quite honestly, are tools of the media. Something drops, they suck it up, they put the energy out there and connect with people on that sort of thing. And I mean, that's just the way to do it. Because if you're going off of whatever the media says, like I said, Kanye, the woman, they took his kids in broad daylight and nobody said anything about that. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Because now when they say, oh, he's crazy and he wants to do all these things, and girls get, women, Kanye crazy, he's doing all this stuff. Kanye's doing more to try to be in his kid's life than some of y'all baby fathers have ever tried to do. And I might not be talking to anybody in here, and I might be talking to somebody in here. And I'm not saying it hatefully, I'm speaking truthfully. How dare you? I should be applauding that man. Whatever his romantic preference is, who he is as an individual is the thing that people should understand. Take the time to understand. Like I said, Kanye West got misogynistic things. It's just don't like some men when a woman walk by and a man looks all weird. Like, I don't like shit like that. But that's just me. But those are the things. Like I said, other than that, I can disassociate or disconnect because like, the way I can do that is because he's not the only one. Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle eyes, hey. He's not the only one. And I'm sitting here, hopefully, when I finish this, I'll be able to, cause I just got to get this out first. And then I could formulate this video because people just get right on board. You jump right on the horse to slander the man who is simply just, I mean, like I said, the 400 years, ain't nobody ever been oppressed as long as some African Americans. And that's the thing too, you do this, not all slaves were treated badly. And then it takes one woman, back in the one I said about women running the world, and it took Rosa Parks, it took Harriet Tubman, to make this big old change. Was she the only one? She was the first one. Rosa Parks wasn't the first woman to give up her seat. You'd have to do the research to understand that. George Washington wasn't the first president. You have to do your research to understand that. And yeah, Kanye, I talk like he don't read. Kanye don't got no time to read. I'd be amazed or even surprised that he says something like us, to do these interviews. But like I said, the script is the same. Tatiana, the script is the same because the message is intentional. Because for him to be black, educated, influential, a father, and a Gemini, that's a lot of things to have on your mind, to sit and then, maneuver, and then on top of that, be high and drunk with the drink, you know what I'm saying, with drink chance at least. Who can afford to point a finger and throw a stone? And that's because if you're not gonna understand it, then you shouldn't have any opinion about it. Because at the end of the day, all the message is gonna be it's all propaganda. And if it's only a few words that I remember from high school, let me tell you, especially social studies, world history, whatever. And then propaganda is one of them. And that word has always stuck with me. And considering where I am right now, it's because I'm here to decode it, change the sheets on it, as my girl said. That sort of thing. And if you don't understand propaganda, you don't understand any of it. You don't understand, and this was a big thing too. You don't understand how Netflix, the largest pushers of propaganda and cranial influence, are the ones producing his show. That was not even, it's not his show. Producing that documentary about him, the only people that are still pushing forth that, because he's not in control of it. He's not in control of that narrative. He's not in control of how they sold his friends sold him the fuck out. Is anybody gonna talk about that? Of all the people Kanye put on, nobody's gonna talk about the people that are doing him wrong. And when he does talk about the people that are doing him wrong, this is what happens. Quite frankly, because of how Kanye talks, I would have been thought, even when he said, Jay, don't send the goons to my head, I would have been thought somebody would, they tried to 50 to 150 him or whatever that thing is in the hospital and stuff like that. All that level of control that they tried to put on that man, and he still is where he is. And whether he was 5150 or not, that was the narrative, that was the idea, which then comes into play now when he buys a house across the street from Kim, when he gets a fire truck to take his kids to school, when he wears a shirt that disrupts the people. That narrative from back then, the propaganda of that applies to the end game. It molds the narrative of the situation that we are in right now, so that nobody can say, well, oh, I had no idea. No, they've been planting those seeds for months. But Kanye does, well, I'm gonna get religious and I'll put out the music and I'll do the things that the people want from me. But then still people will still act like they weren't for me. Like I said, I put the setup on Facebook. If you were never a Kanye fan, then you'll never get it. You'll never get it. Like I said, because Kanye been the same. But if you are a Kanye fan, I don't understand how you can jump ship when the man been the same since he stepped out of here in cardigans and backpacks. He been the same. He been the same. Same thing with Donald Trump. Been the same man. But that's a different thing. Let me read y'all comments. And that's the thing. I don't want to get suspended too. Somebody thinking I'm anti-Semitic on the comments, and people be watching my stuff, and I would get suspended in a heartbeat for some type of hateful speech bullshit, and I don't want that. But speaking about the Jewish people, right, and how which is true, they function together. They created their influence and their infrastructure in places that people didn't want to go. And that extended beyond that moment in time. And now they are the most influential and the most sought after people in entertainment for that niche of work that they provided to people. You'd have to understand that to understand what he's saying. And ultimately he framed it. No, he's not very eloquent, but that's the part that makes sense to me when he gets on and he starts talking about things. He's just saying how, because that's the Gemini, I'm talking and then something else applies and then I'm thinking too, and then, it all comes out. No, he doesn't frame everything that he says or every thought that he has in a way that's palatable or understandable to the masses. But like I said, you have to know what he's talking about to get it. If you don't think the Jewish people, I don't know, I'm just trying to be nice. If you don't think the Jewish people run the game, first of all, then you never seen Ray Donovan. You don't know who the fuck is running these record companies. You just don't know. So you would think he's crazy because he's just sitting there, you think he's just being slanderish and a bully. But those are facts. They're facts. Like, they're verifiable facts. And then, especially now with all of this, okay, so he said Adidas not going to drop him. Do you not think he's been wanting to get out of there? Goddamn, let's give a shout out to Masika. He's been trying to get out of that damn Adidas contract. This is what I'll do. because Kanye is about him. And he encourages everybody to be about themselves. Know that you are the creative power. You are the creative being. You are the energy. You are the reason. Take Kanye's idea and apply it to yourself, and everybody would be a bit better off. But people would not. People would be self-sustainable. And do you think they want self-sustainable individuals in the world? Do you think that they want that? Do you think they want people recognizing their power and their strengths, working in the community? One of my common threads, working in the community, working amongst themselves to create sustainable neighborhoods that don't rely on. Now, we're not talking about Wi-Fi, and we're not talking about, you know what I mean, Teslas. We're not talking about stuff like that. Sustainable, functionable neighborhoods where this is where you go to school, this is where you learn your trades, and this is what, you know what I'm saying, this is how you maintain the land and stuff like that. Food, shelter, clothing, medicine, because medicine is what comes from the earth. Before people got into doctors in white lab coats and going to school and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn something that people were doing for hundreds of thousands of years, I mean, Walmart trying to get it. Support the page, y'all. Cash App. No, they don't want that. And it's the well, that's the thing. And that's the fact that that's not even anti-black things. I don't know anything that he said that was anti-black. Please let me know in the comments if you said anything that was anti-black. Him saying white lives matter is not anti-black, because white lives matter is something I've been saying since Black Lives Matter came out. Because that Black Lives Matter only creates more segregation. That makes the people that came out as hateful and spiteful and racist during the Trump administration, not because of Trump, but during the Trump administration, that only infuriates them. So that if there is an opportunity where black people want to get together, those people feel like they then need to buck up, rise up, defend themselves, because this has now become a thing. They're going to want to do the white hats and the things because they feel inferior, not because that's all it is, inferiority. You feeling the spirit of inferiority if you can't sit and understand or respect another culture. Period, point blank. And that's a personal thing, but that's also a historic thing, because those behaviors are acquired. They're learned behaviors. Nobody comes out of the womb racist, and also nobody comes out of the womb with a God complex. That is something that is given to you. You are taught that, given that, encouraged to be that. But history continues to repeat itself because we haven't changed one thing about it. If we continue to, and everything is it's not going to be the same. We'll never go back to the point of separate bathrooms and separate water closets and fountains and diners. We could go back to separate parts of town, but who does that benefit? Because we all work together. Community is not color. Community is the people. That, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. Black Lives Matter only is another form, it's reverse racism, that now black people feel entitled because now we have this status or this moniker above us, that now we feel like we can, now we feel like we should, now we feel like, that sort of thing. When no, it shouldn't be. The conversation is, which is very specific. It's not a very general thing, because I've had encounters with the police officers and haven't had anything negative, prayerfully, thankfully, whatever. That sort of situation. I've also seen police officers get rough and tough with their afro puffs. I've seen that, but also I've also understood why a police officer might feel like that. I also understand that some police officers get into the field because they too feel inferior, and they want a little support and things. You know what I'm saying? They want to feel a little bit of power and things like that. So that's not a general thing. That's a very specific, isolated incident, and those are the things that we need to touch on. That's the beehive. The bee is the Floyd's, but even with all those situations, those are the bees. The beehive is the bigger issue. How are we seeking these people to fulfill these positions? How are we seeking people to govern the people of this area, this county, this state? That's what it is. Because all of this stuff, from Trayvon Martin to Breonna Taylor, isolated situations. Isolated specific situations that fuel the narrative, push the people, especially people of color, to act in a certain type of way, to bring about an emotion. And then there is no outlet. We don't even have an outlet in the music because all of this is going on, and then we look to music and the fucking people, the women is arguing and carrying on and things like that. So it's confusion everywhere, and black people continue to stay in a state of mind of negativity and animosity and that's not healthy. This is what I take from I've been thought, but this is what I take away from the Kanye West conversation, because it's not just Kanye. Kanye is the bee. There is a beehive that needs more attention than what Kanye is doing. But thankfully, the bee, like Kanye West, is dropping and pollinating, and that's what they don't want. Pollinating people with information and knowledge, and also the ability to take to take the time to research. Because once you research it, you understand that what he's saying is not crazy. 400 years of slavery is ridiculous amount of time. And you can't even understand that some of us only been on the earth 50 years, 34 years. 400 years? And nobody decided that Holocaust was the Jewish people. They flipped the script, and now they hold the power. They went, and that's what Kanye said, the same thing. They have held the power, and they have used the power to then infiltrate every part and become the change makers, the decision deciders. And what have black people done? So pardon me if I'm not pro-black. Pardon me if I think, yeah, white lives matter. Because that's the truth. All lives matter. Because that's community. Tisha Babisha, I love that. Welcome. One True Empress, welcome. Let me tell you guys this. I'm going to start in my subscription. Make sure y'all subscribe, because I will not be going live locally. I think this is how it works. I'll just be going live via subscriptions. So we got to subscribe, because I can't be giving away this type of stuff. And y'all know I'll be on live for a while, so I need to make something out of that. So we're going to work with that. And I don't know what TikTok is doing. Working, formulating, doing things. But they seem to be constructing their own little way of doing things. See, I can only be me, you know? So that sort of thing. No, I don't want you to. I don't know I don't know what the price is for the subscription. I don't know, but I think I'm waiting on some type of clearance either way. But I'll only be going live via subscriptions, and we'll be doing behind the scenes, you know, get Glam Hole, the Kelly Kitchen, and also as I do research for videos, you guys can be with me while I do that and watch how my mind works and how I connect this to this to this, and then I find a new topic here and I look at that. So hopefully it'll be content. But some, you know, people have been in the Kelly Collective. I've had some family members up in the Kelly Collective for quite some time now, so y'all know how I give it up. Y'all know what I do. So you know the subscription place will be a very safe space and a fun place. I do have a YouTube page. Is it $5.99 for the subscription? Hey, I don't know anything about that, but you know, listen, y'all will see, y'all will get y'all money's worth. You know you will. We be on live for 8 hours. That's $5.99 worth right now, right there. I do have a YouTube page. I am. I want the YouTube page to be separate than the TikTok because I have built something here on TikTok that I don't really want to translate anywhere else. So I think I do have a YouTube page. It's in the bio, and it has some things. It's not as juicy as my TikTok page is, but I think I'm going to do something different over there. So there's that, and then when I could really buckle down and get an idea out and be consistent with that, then the podcast will begin to flourish more. I do have it's on Iconically Psychotic podcast is on Anchor and Spotify. So things like that. Um, I'm a Gemini, always evolving. Thank you so much, Mickey Bearful. Yes. I love you guys. Y'all know how I feel about y'all over here. Listen. But that's the thing with Kanye West. I wanted to get that out. I just wanted to see what the people say. You got Gemini is a special. I mean, everybody, all the zodiacs are special. But some of the greatest people, negative and positive, are Geminis, and you just have to. Power is power, and um, usually it's Geminis that have the most power, and um, I'm trying to think. Kanye West was saying, the power. Money is not power, but you know, water, privacy, food. Those are the things that it continues to change. We cannot expect, or we can expect things to be displayed to us in a way they were displayed because the people like, let's say Watergate, for example. Times changed from Watergate. Um, s- s- um, Invading space and planting things and reasons for knowing information, that has changed from that time to this type of time. We're not going to be able to go into a building and say, okay, this is where the microphone is, because they learned from that situation. We're in a place at a time where just speaking, you take your phone into the building and the whole building is being recorded. Or you take your phone into the building and all the phones can be copied. You go through a rigorous hiring process and you still hire the mole because people were designed to be likable, to be relatable, to be employable. That's Kanye West talking about. Because we begin to develop and we have to go with the times because you will get left behind, and they bank on people getting left behind. That's how the world goes around. The people that are left behind, not knowing, not understanding, or not taking the time to understand how things have changed, yet still the same, but they go about it in a different way. Technology, look at the phones now. Even when we was flipping phones, because the razor was everything, or even my audio box from Cricket, everything. Okay, even when those phones were out, we compared it to the phones we have now, vastly, vastly different. These phones don't even have a T9. They got swipe. At the same time, do you not think that when we were flipping phones, razors, or even Nextelling and chirping from, do you not think that they had these very phones that we have in our hands now? You don't think they had that idea then? Some people don't want to understand that. Some people don't believe that. When the cars when the cars come out, and it's a 2024, Infinity QX56, God willing, or or a Kia. Um, what's a Kia I like? What's the truck? One of those 2024. You think they came up with that car that year? They've been working on these things, and that's the thing with Kanye West too. Imagine a world, a time where we're not discussing Kanye West and the Kardashians. They were divinely made, specifically placed for whatever all of this is right here. And all of it is to be determined, but the information and the screenplay is being presented to us. And we have to pay attention to it. Not so much have so much, well, my opinion is to clarify or even to provide an alternate a perception of what this whole Kanye West thing is. But I'm still waiting for the end game. I'm still waiting for what the damn end game is with Wendy Williams. But even with that, there's no coincidence that Wendy is now being quiet or not being seen or trying to get help, and all of this Kanye West stuff is going on. There's no coincidence in that, and that may seem small or insignificant. But everybody plays. Everybody's in the game. Everyone is in the game, from Krishan and whatever his name, and the guy Young Blue, whatever, to Kris Jenner. Everybody is in the game, and everybody has a reason. Everybody's on the board. I mean, collectively, there are pieces on the board, and the game is on. It's chess, honey, and that's why everybody don't play. Anybody could play checkers. That's why they gave people checkers, because everybody couldn't play chess. Everybody's in the game. Please, and everybody's coming for the queen. Everybody wants to be queen. Or the thing is, there's only one damn queen, and it's not Beyonce. It's not. She's just a talent. I'm not even going to get into all that. But that's the Ye talk. Like I said, that Masika's saying that he's been trying to get out of these deals, and he doesn't. And that's the whole, buying the house across the street, getting the fire truck to take his kids to school. Kanye at every damn game, he speaks. If he didn't want to be a part of them kids, like I said, women to sit here and talk about the crazy things Kanye did to be a father, to be a daddy, because there's a difference between being a daddy and a father. To be a daddy, I don't understand how women even speak negatively on that when he has gone far and far, and even still, because that's him and Kim both be at North's basketball games. He still make it to them games. He still does what he can do to be where he needs to be with who he needs it for. He said white lives matter, white lives do matter. His wife is white. His kids is white. White lives matter. Because at no point do I want even my fans to think that everybody shouldn't be held accountable, or everybody's life is not worthy of being respected. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? It's only because of racism, as I sit and think about it, that people feel the need to be so emboldened or emblazoned or empowered or encouraged to act so negatively, or even conduct themselves in a negative way to be better than. When we all fight the same fight. White people, black people, brown, orange people all get food stamps. White people, black people, brown people, orange people, all millionaires. White people, black people, all lose kids. White people, black people, brown people, all own property. But the only way to differentiate between who's worthy and who's not worthy is the media, which is run by I don't even want to ask if this is, I know it's making sense, but you just sometimes you just got to sum this up. You understand what I'm saying? Double tap the screen if you understand what I'm saying. That's all you got. Maybe somebody don't want to say nothing, but that's what that is. That's all it is. And I think that's just the foundation of it. To sit and understand, or to at least to be in a place to be understanding. and be like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can get it that way. And sometimes, mostly every time I get on here and I say something like that, somebody's like, oh, okay, I can understand that. And I like, I'm not telling you to jump on Kanye's thing because, like I said, there's some things about him, whether he's misogynistic or whether he's the Oedipus complex or um, whether he, lives in a stadium but buys white girls houses or whatever he does, the things that may turn you off to him. But him as an individual and the things that he wants to do, the things that he has done, and the things that he's trying to do are the parts of the character that I think would need to be appreciated more. Because if Kanye were so crazy, he wouldn't even be in the position that he is in right now. If Kanye were not influential, these businesses, CAA, UTA, JP Morgan Chase, but further back to JP Morgan Chase, have we not learned that the banks aren't really open to, because same thing with Wells Fargo and Wendy Williams, the first two, I don't know how a bank gets so involved when all you doing is hold my money. When all you do is hold my money, I don't understand how you get so involved in what I do outside of me sitting at that bank or even making a call to customer service to even be a part of my news story. You're the bank. JP Morgan Chase, MRC Entertainment, Donda Sports, Balenciaga, Def Jam, Gap, Adidas. Wasn't nobody think about Def Jam, wasn't nobody thinking about Gap, wasn't nobody think about Adidas. Kanye came on and influenced Balenciaga and Vogue magazine in ways that nobody else is ever coming out there and do that. Not thank God, but it took it, and that's the thing about people dying is that's I did the. For Virgil dies, Andre Leon Talley dies. The people that come in there and shape the image of these brands have been silenced. And if you don't know that, then none of it makes sense. If you don't know who Andre Leon Talley is, you haven't the slightest idea. In the pictures, in the videos I posted, people don't know who Virgil Abloh is. Then you have no idea. I'm here to educate. I'm here to enlighten. I'm here to be insightful. Because I'm going to let you know what you need to know. Like I did with the Beyonce video with Yvette pulling her. And then I gave you a video on who the fuck Yvette is. You have to understand. I mean, to be a part of the conversation. Like I said, you could be neutral, and that's fine too. But even everything catches up and everything plays into. But if you be neutral, that's just the best way to be. But to be like, oh, Kanye, or oh, this is karma coming for Kanye. The fuck karma coming from Kanye West? And when it comes to karma and celebrities, do you know people like the Kushners? Do you know people like the gays? Do you know people like the type of shit they do? And we want to talk about karma for Kanye West? That don't sit well with me. That don't sit well with me in the fact that becomes the popular narrative. I would love to pull up my social media and we have conversations like we're having in here, or people have an idea like we have in here. But that's not it. People want to drag that man. People want to drag that man for being the man he's been since we've known him. Yeah, he got more money. He got more influence. He got kids. He done lived a little. He done put people in places that weren't normally in places. So things have changed, but the man is still the same. His same ideas, his same behaviors, his same intention. That's my Kanye West. That's my Kanye TED Talk, because those are the things to take away. We all crazy. And also I said too, it's the people, it's the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Albert Einsteins, the Elon Musk, the Steve Jobs, the Bill Gates. We don't see them like we see Kanye West. We don't see creative minds consistently on a public level. We don't see that. So there's no way to gauge how somebody is mentally or what they may do characteristically. whether they're whoremongers or whether they're whatever they like, freak level, whatever. The fact that people probably can't handle one-on-one conversation, but they get in that boardroom or they conduct the meetings and they influence and orchestrate and manipulate. Nobody else on that level of intelligence or influence is as public as Kanye West is. That's something to be understood as well. And that is where Kanye West comes in. They found the right person to say, I can play behind the scenes, and I can be exactly what you want in front of the camera. But that's just who he is. That's the position that Kanye was created for. How they, with the born in Atlanta, took to Chicago without the dad, with the mother and the education, empowered him, put him in. And I'm not saying there's not another Kanye West out there, because they said there's at least 7 people in the world that look like you. So there's at least 2 or 3 that are just as smart as you or whatever. Coco Melon. And that's what I wanted to say in the video. I said Caillou is annoying as hell, but I wanted to say Coco Melon is annoying as hell too. But I'm not talking about you, babe. I'm talking about Coco Melon, the cartoon. But either way, that's the video. Go check it out. But Kanye was the one to use, or whatever his connection is. And that's what we go back to my videos on the bloodlines and people being related and stuff like that. All of that plays a part. All of that plays a part. And so when it comes to somebody, if you get, and that's with any information, you want your manager at your job to have experienced the things that you experience, because that's the person you're going to take the insight information from. You want the person that's going to be influencing you to have walked the walk, or gain the knowledge, or things like that, because that's where you grabbing your information from. Every step that Kanye Bennett, his experiences, the people he's dealt with, the information that he's attained, the conversations he's had with people that were the people, the Elon Musks and things like that. How can you not? If Kanye West was crazy, he wouldn't even be invited to these spaces. He wouldn't be called to the room, because he wouldn't know what to do with it. And he's not so simple of a character, or what does somebody say? A company something. Lashes and lip gloss. Hey, so what do you think it is? What do I think? What is? What do I think? What Kanye West is doing is dropping information. Before, I would hate to see. There's 2 people I would hate to see that to be unalive. It's 2 people I would hate to see unalive right now, especially with their influence in the lanes that they created. And that is one, I always want to say what T.S. Madison said, but it's not nice, but I just love an extension. I love a nickname. But it's Wendy Williams and it's Kanye West. And those are 2 of the people of culture on my Facebook status. I said Kanye, this whole Kanye fiasco and Kanye West himself is the most notable situation in cultural history. The most notable situation, because there's so many nuances to it. And the nuance, the point of understanding the nuances is not from the media. You have to understand the beginning. The reason why you have to understand the Beehive, because even Wendy, they bees, Wendy and Kanye, they bees. But Kanye, because of who he is, with the complex, the Oedipus complex, or the I don't want to say that, but the God complex, and the validation for his influence and things like that, allow him to have an opinion, or not be completely molded into, to not be completely molded and allowed to speak. And this is the biggest thing. This is the disconnect for me in this whole thing even allowing him to speak, allowing him to get on Drink Champs when they knew what he was going to talk about, for them to edit that show, run it through legal, and still put it out there, that's intentional. That is by no mistake. Because Diddy ain't been functioning in the game this long to not have run shit through legal, edited the show to show the parts that should not be shown, to then put the show out there and have all of this go on. That's not coincidental. They didn't record that on an iPhone and just upload it raw to the. They didn't do that. So all of this is a domino effect. We have to understand, and it's not the beginning of the domino effect. The dominoes are falling mid, quarter way, halfway through. What is this goal? Kanye, I think Kanye's ultimate goal. Like I said, I'm still waiting to see how it all plays out. I'm just giving an understanding, maybe a little insight to how what parts to understand in this play out and how these dominoes are falling. What the end goal is, we've yet to see it. I'm not exactly sure what it is, because that's what I'm saying. The disconnect is his involvement, who he is in the industry. Yes, he's an outspoken black man, but he is a part of the culture and a part of the people that make decisions. He is the bottom line for some of these businesses. He is a product of that environment. So he has to shuck and jive because he is a part of the game. And that's something to understand. Because at the end of the day, when he said George Bush don't like black people, they could have silenced him. When he said Jay don't send the goons to my head, they could have silenced him. And y'all know what I mean by silenced. But his influence is on a different level. He's getting dropped from the brands, and we'll see what happens with that. Like I said, you drop him from the brands. You can drop him from Vogue and down to Sport. You can drop him from Balenciaga. But do you not think Vogue, Balenciaga, and down to Sport are going to look for somebody that's like Kanye West? They're not going to go in the opposite direction. They're going to go in the direction that led them to the success that they've had. That's influence. That's a mark on history. Gap, Adidas, Def Jam. Do you think they're gonna go back? Do you think Gap and do you think Adidas is gonna push out shell toe, whatever? What, as far as them dropping him, and I thought about this while I was sitting on the toilet. It's like a sale, I think, like a end of deal sale, closing all costs, because all that money comes in. Influence money. It's a money game. That is money, because the Adidas. If Adidas go, like somebody said, I hope they still put the Yeezys and Marshalls and TJ Maxx. So one, people still want them, regardless of where they're being sold at. If that's a meme or not, people still want them, but they want them for a cheaper price. Just because they are a cheaper price, it takes $3 to make a $125 shoe. If you sell that shoe for $12, you still make a profit. Understand? So it don't matter where the shoes is being sold, the money is still coming in. The bottom line is still being met exponentially. That's the thing to understand too. Why drop them? Because they don't want to be affiliated with the anti-Semitic things. Kanye didn't say nothing so disrespectful. He ain't said nothing that even George Bush don't like black people. The fucking songs he says, and I really wish I was a lyricist or even into hip hop like that. I mean, I like the songs, but I really listen to Thank You Honey is strategic. Everything is strategy. We playing chess here. You're not willy-nilly with chess, right? Chess is strategy. Into the music, because it's in the verbiage. It's in the lyrics. I do remember slavery was a choice. What other group of people have been enslaved and still continue to be enslaved? 400 years was light. Because it continues to go on. It continues to go on, the level of slavery. Is it a choice? Absolutely, because we choose to stay within the confines or the boxes that the people continue to put on us, and the limitations that we feel like that we can only meet up to. When, like I said, there are people, black, white, orange, green people, own land, are millionaires, own businesses, all these things. But depending on where you are, depending on your influence, how you were raised, you may feel like you can and surpass, or you may feel like you shouldn't, or you may feel like you're not deserving and fall right into where they need the people to be, which makes the world go around in the way that the world goes around. But history continues to repeat itself because nobody has changed history. Presidents always the same. If we elected congressmen, governors, and things like that were actually for the country or for the county, the city, the state, the county, and the state will constantly be in a state of evolution because people will come in with fresh new ideas and they would enact those things. They would put those things into action. That's not what happens. Your congressman, yeah, he might have been speaking. Yeah, he was speaking about back then, but he's still speaking about up to because slavery ain't stopped. The idea and the system in which slavery was created in is still going on. Systematic oppression is a real thing, and we encourage that by not thinking, by not acting out, and not acting out in a way that's violent, because we have to, as black people, and I'm speaking to black people now, and even we got the allies too, and that's great. But we have to move differently. If they set us up for a place to be negative, violent, and aggressive, we have to sit, ingest it, digest it, process it, and understand what our next move is. We can't function in that way because if they want us to act a certain type of way, they plan for the recourse of us acting that sort of type of way. Right? You do your football plans, you do your fumbly rumblies, you do your things because it's sports chess, and I don't play chess like that, but I could get it. I watch the sports. If you throw the ball here, you're expecting that person to go do that thing, and if that person does something else, you're thrown off your game. That person now has the upper hand. They never wanted to have the upper hand because if you black, first of all, even now, I mean, it kind of is a thing, but if you black, you know it's a superiority thing, and that's on science, that's on lineage, that's on life. And with us being that influential, we can't be Black Lives Matter. We have to say we stand for everybody, because we can't be great by ourselves. We have to be great with everyone, because when we're great with everyone becomes great. Like Jay-Z said, everybody's millionaires in their family, whatever that is, whatever that line is, that sort of thing. I can't be the only one great, because if I'm around a bunch of people that are not as great or don't share in the greatness, then what exactly am I doing with my greatness? Share the wealth and pull other people in there. And there's nothing wrong with it, but that's not what they want us to do. And then when somebody does do something like that, oh, they're crazy, they're outlandish. We can't have that. And if they don't want to play the game, they get silenced. We have to 100% have to help ourselves first. But that don't mean Black Lives Matter. That don't mean that at all. When Kanye West talks about not having abortions and setting up clinics or whatever across the street from the abortion clinics or the group, whatever that organization across the street, the clinics where people can drop off their kids and people gain information, I would definitely work at a place like that. And if something like that was happening, I would definitely work at a place like that. But if we don't, those are the types of things that help the community. Because we have to dig ourselves out first, and then we can walk where we need to go. You know what I mean? And if we can dig ourselves up and out of the ditch that they put us in for 400 years, then we can run, fly, sprint, and carry on in the way that we need to. That's how we move on. We help each other by helping each other, not trying to stand alone. No, it's not about Black Lives Matter. No. And then that too, and that's a big Black Lives Matter. The girl done stole a damn money. So what is a Black Lives Matter? Because she didn't steal that money and go open up a organization like Kanye West said across the. She didn't do that. She in the Champs-Élysées or sail on a yacht in Saint Tropez. But they give us anything and we'll fall for everything. Not me, and not my people in the Kelly Collective. Because we open, our eyes is open. That is the only way that we help each other. That's the only way we continue to be greater. And allies are great because you always need an ally. You know what I'm saying? France, Switzerland, whatever the thing. Everyone should help each other. That's community. It's not about race. It's about community. I completely agree, Amy, Rebecca. Rebecca. That's the way we excel. That's the way we progress. That's the way history begins to get rewritten because somebody came and changed something. Not for a cultural reason, not for a bottom line, but simply because of the people in the immediate community. Kanye West wearing a White Lives Matter shirt in Milan don't got nothing to do with my black ass in New York State. Not one single thing. Not one single thing. He could print 2 million of them shirts. I'm not going to buy one. That doesn't affect me at no point. I have no idea what's next for Kanye. The story continues to unfold. There's a domino effect, and one domino is not the end. There's another one that's going to fall, and another one's going to fall. Dominoes have been falling for decades, and he is just one set of dominoes, along with the Kardashians, from Kanye West to his mother to his father, to Kim, Virgil, Jay-Z, and A$AP Rocky, which extend down to Beyonce and Rihanna, which extends to Antonio Brown, Anna Wintour. The dominoes, the influence is all connected. Hey, sunshine, rain, sunshine and rain. I told you, y'all have to join the subscription. I'm not trying to pull the money out of you, but you know it's worth it. I think it's $5.99. My girl said it's $5.99. Join the subscription. This will probably be the last live I do locally. The George. I thank you so much for Lashes Lip Gloss because this is what I needed. The George Floyd situation. Let me preface this by saying this. When Trayvon Martin happened, oh, how could this man do this? How could this man do this? And it became a race thing when George Zimmerman was Mexican. But I'm not saying that other races or other cultures can't be racist, but let's make that make sense. But that happened in the neighborhood. He shot him, whatever, okay? And I'm not being dismissive or anything like that. I'm just trying to get to my point. I was behind, like, how dare he, how could this happen? Which they wanted us to feel like, you know what I mean? But as I did, and this is where I know I'm supposed to be because I've been doing this stuff, and now I just have this platform, and I'm thankful for it, and I'm thankful for you guys for even being receptive and being here and engaging. So forever love. But I got into it. I was writing and I'm looking and I'm writing and I'm trying to make sense of it because I didn't want to go by what the media was telling me because a lot of the situations a lot of the storylines were the same. What was my first indicator that there was a narrative being pushed was these very innocent images of this 16-year-old boy who was a football player, but they're sitting here showing this 11-year-old, this 4 or 5-year-old picture of this innocent young boy by this wood. And that right there is an indicator because then you watch shows like Scandal and you understand how the narrative is being controlled. And shows are shows, yes, but they are based in something. The actual crisis manager for the Bush administration, that's her. That's a real life character with real life events played out in a fictitious way that draws entertainment, but the story itself is real. The profession itself is real. So that's that. I picked up on that. So as I look and I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking, I go to Wikipedia. I'm getting to George Floyd. I go to Wikipedia because it was the pictures that got me first. I was like, okay, if he's sitting there strangling a 12-year-old boy who's in this, okay, I get it, whatever, shoot him, okay, whatever. But not that okay. Well, not even. My thing was, how do that big man? Let me clarify that, and that's what Kanye don't clarify, but he just whatever. But understand Gemini mind. How did that young 12-year-old boy even find himself in a position to be with this 200-pound man, and then this 200-pound man wants to, you know what I mean? Like that didn't make sense to me. But when I saw the real Trayvon Martin, I'm like, okay, now we might have something here. That begat my research, and with the research, I found that they had been thieves. It would have been the neighborhood had been a theft. There was theft in the neighborhood. Zimmerman was on guard. He was an unofficial neighborhood watch. And that's the thing about isolated situations. Trayvon Martin was not even from that area. Trayvon Martin was sent to his father's girlfriend's home. She lived in that complex that Zimmerman lived in because he was suspended from school and his mother didn't want to be bothered with him while she was working or whatever she was doing. She sent him to go stay with his father's girlfriend. That. Then he walks miles away to go get some Skittles and an iced tea. Miles away. 1.3, 1.4, maybe 2 miles away to get a Skittle and an iced tea. And then comes back after walking a mile and a half or more to the neighborhood to then see Zimmerman. And then, okay, so that, okay, how am I laying this out? Like this. To then walk into the neighborhood, the complex, the community, feel like somebody is watching him, because he didn't run into Zimmerman when he first walked in there. Zimmerman, he came back on Zimmerman, is what the story is. He came back on Zimmerman and get into that skerfuffle, right? As I look on Wikipedia, they have a layout of they got a layout of the complex. It's a, let me lay, I did this, Lord, I've done this so many months ago, but welcome to the new people. Let me get a fresh sheet. Let me use my tablet, get real fancy with it. Hold on, here I come. I'm gonna lay this complex out for y'all, okay? I'm gonna lay the complex out, okay? Okay, I'm confirmed. 13 years old. I'm gonna lay this complex out, yo. Hold on. No. Okay, here we are. Let me get a black one. Let me get the marker. Let me get the marker. That's black. Okay. Okay, here we are, right? This is the complex. Oh, let me get it. Hold on, you guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna make it plain, right? This is the complex. Okay. Down a little more. Down a little more. This is a box. It was like this, right? There's houses here, 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 here. And then on the inside, there's more houses here, 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 here. So this gray, just because this is an alleyway between the houses. Hold on, it's not big enough. Yes, it is, but it's not dark enough. This is an alleyway between the houses, right? There's grass, there's a sidewalk. Y'all understand, y'all been to complexes like this where there's houses like this, there's houses around here, but we all inside the box, right? And right here is like some type of, maybe the community center, whatever the case to be. This is a roundabout, right? You come out this way. So we extend here, right? Zimmerman was parked right here, they said. Let me get a red. Let me get a red. Let me get a red. I don't know if that's red. Okay, so Zimmerman was parked. No, hold on. I didn't do that right. Zimmerman was parked right here, right? This is why I break things. Like, I've got to find my facts because I'm not going to listen to the story because it's not always what they want us to know. Zimmerman was right here. Trayvon Martin's father's girlfriend lived right here. So when Trayvon Martin came in, he walked in from the store, around the thing, came up and could have gone right here, right? George Zimmerman saw him in the car. By the time he saw him with the hood on and everything like that, let's just, I mean, you've been walking, okay, you're a little tired, a little stroll, whatever the case may be. You walk past the car, and let's say by the time Zimmerman gets on the phone, is like, okay, this is the police. You right here. You don't even know, understand, care, or is worried about who's looking at you. And if anything, you in a new neighborhood, you want to get the fuck back home, right? No. He says he gets out of the car, try to go find a police officer. Says, "Don't, sir, don't get out of the car. Don't do that." He gets out of the car. There's no hey you, nothing like that to call anything like that. They said Trayvon came back through the houses and met the man right here and got into the altercation there. Problem. Because why you just didn't take your little black ass back to the house right here? You were a lot closer to getting home and not being recognized or even involved in that situation easier than you getting in that skerfuffle with that man that was sitting in that car. Because even if you watched him watch you come into that complex, you would start to hurry up, go, because you're in a place that you're not familiar with, or you're in a place that you're not normally known. Because if you were known in the neighborhood, say you go to your father's girlfriend's house a lot, you would know Zimmerman because he the type to sit outside, and he would know you because he probably has approached you before. So now we have a narrative that's created not based in facts, but the propaganda of saying that people are out here preying on black people, which I'm black. And I haven't been preyed on, and I'm thankful for that. But I'm thankful for that in the sense that this is the narrative that they put out, and I might be expecting to have that sort of interaction. Yes, I've been disrespected, but I've been disrespected by black people. I've been disrespected by gay people. So that's just the facts of life. But to say that everybody is out here preying on you because of how you look or how you approach only perpetuates a narrative that puts everybody, especially people of color, in a mindset that I have to now be on guard, and then if I do get approached, I have to act out in a certain kind of way. Absolutely not. To George, so that's the thing about the story. Oh, and then when I seen that thing and that put that together on that I got that image from Google, from Wikipedia. The next day, hey Tia, the next day, it was gone. The next day, it was gone. Because that led people like me the opportunity to see, let's go a reasonable doubt, the opportunity to create the another form of the story. Isolated incidents. We're not going to get into 33rd degree Masons. It's not an isolated incident warranted his life. Martyrs, people are dying, these black boys are dying for the wrong cause. Because at the end of the day, and this is what I think my YouTube page might be getting into, things like this, but I'm waiting. Let the Lord do his job. But like Trayvon Martin could have been home. And if he not some 13, 12-year-old meek mild little boy, like the picture they were showing, he was some big football player, which he was, 16 years old, strong, or whatever the case may be, yeah, maybe he did feel threatened. And in Florida, you can carry and defend yourself. So we can't negate the facts or the laws because of a racial or whatever, whatever, like that, like those things that have, and granted, systematic, and it's not, the system was not created to protect us, and all that stuff. Another reason why we have to govern and control ourselves accordingly. That's like going into a damn sundown state or whatever the case may be. Like, oh well, I'm black. No, you in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is what the laws stipulate. Get your ass in the house. There's no time to try to defend. There's no time to try to, and then that's the thing, if you're going to be the martyr, now we're martyring for the right reasons, and martyrs create the change, right? But that's not what's happening with George Floyd. If George Floyd, if the goddamn medical examiner says he did not die, I don't know. I'm not completely 100% on this. But what they're saying is that there was a lethal dose of fentanyl in his system. And that was the reason he was unalive. And the strangulation was not that bad because the officers, there was no damage to his neck in a way that would cause a strangulation or asphyxiation or anything like that. Those are the facts. That's what we have to go with. What happened? Where did the fentanyl come from? That's the beehive. Everything else is a distraction. Those are the little bees to keep your attention over here. But we need to figure out how the hell we get to a point where he is tackled for selling Lucy's, right? Is that the story with George? Because after that Trayvon Martin thing, that it took, you ain't got to hit me but one time, Ike, okay? After I got that and how that thing, and that damn graph was gone the next day, I said, okay, everything going forward, and I didn't even know what the hell was coming to pass because Trayvon Martin was at 2012. Everything coming to pass would be just a propaganda, a machine to get people of color up in arms, or even allies up in arms to think whatever they want us to think. But if the George Zimmerman case is not what they said it was, then what exactly are we believing of the situation? What are we to take away from this? You have to take the time to think. You have to take the time to think for yourself. You have to take the time to think yeah, everyone saw that video, but you have no idea. Nobody's there. And let's talk about the murders. Let me tell you, I don't know you have to be in that situation. Let me tell you a situation where I would do something. What's his name? Hold on, y'all, because listen, I'm always somewhere, everywhere. Anton Black. Let me tell you a situation where I would be involved, because all the people sitting there watching that police officer strangle that man on the thing, and maybe that's why didn't nobody jump in, because they didn't think he was strangling him. They just thought they were restraining him, which a police officer has the right to do. They go to school to restrain somebody, just like you work in a group home, somebody get to acting crazy, you have the right to restrain them with whatever. That's just is what it is, okay? So, Anton Black. Say the people don't want to get involved because they don't know him on the streets, but with so many of these damn the guy I was just talking about, they don't want to get involved, not the police officer, get involved and say because we're trying to save this black man's life. Nobody did that. Everybody just sat and recorded with their phones, right? One instance where I know for sure I would have gotten involved in is the Anton Black case, where Anton Black was on his porch and his mother came outside and saw 3 white men restraining her son on her porch. She didn't do nothing. And when I tell you I would have got a broom, a pan, a bucket of hot water, some grits, and got them people off my son, because what the hell did he do? Half the size of all of you that got all of y'all on top of him like this. He died on his mother's porch. That's not the case, George Floyd. That's not the case that people talk about. People talk about George Floyd when the Anton Black case happened before George Floyd. We have to understand how things are being played out, what to be upset about, what to take notice of, and how to understand or recognize when we being worked over. That George Floyd case, the people rallied, not George Floyd, Anton Black, that lady in that community fought for justice for that boy. There were other people in that community that fought for justice for that boy. They got it. Over a course of time, they got it. What they wanted, they got it. Did the police officer get fired, but with his pension? Sure. Well, who cares about that? Their pension. Money is not power. Who cares? But are you not on the streets to do these things to our black kids anymore? Absolutely. Because they wanted people to say, oh, this is the young black boy he killed, when that's not really the young black boy that was in that altercation. I don't care if there's a help, because George Zimmerman, from what I recall, there's no way, and they said, oh, we did voice analysis. If a lie detector test is not admissible in court, then voice analysis cannot be admissible in court. It sounded like a young kid, or the voice analysis sounded like that was matched with Trayvon Martin. A punk ass, um, unofficial, official neighborhood watch person is hey diligent. That's what I'm just talking about right now. Um, he gonna sound a little bit more soft in the voice like that guy did. It wasn't like Trayvon. You don't get suspended from school. Like we have to consider all options, and that's the thing about being black. I know why a couple black people get suspended from school. I know why your mother want to send you away. Like I said too, we're not going to get into the 33rd degrees and all of that stuff, and all of that plays a part. We're not the point of all of that. All of this is we usually don't get the full story. 9 times out of 10, even we don't get the full story. We get the points of the story. When enjoy the rest of your day. We get the points of the story that fuel the emotion to then, because how from we go, it's just a trickle of a domino. Trayvon Martin was not the first. Rodney King was not the first. You know what I'm saying? Those sorts of things. But these are the people that are notable dominoes in this affect. What do you mean by wondering why the exception? And diligent, as far as the kind of George Floyd, we're going off the facts. If Candace and her family did the research to find out things that anybody could find out, and that's the fact, we just have to go with what the facts are. We have to go with what the facts are. And if it's fentanyl that killed him, that's a bigger issue than, oh, it's a white cop on a black guy. No, we need to figure out why the fuck fentanyl was used, and then fentanyl has become this big old thing out of nowhere. Everybody's on fentanyl because people just want to get so high. So now it's fentanyl in his system. And if you know what the drug game is all controlled by the alphabet. Well, I mean, like let's understand the people that are placing the dominoes in place. Yeah, they paint African Americans as aggressive. They paint African Americans as aggressive because then we do get aggressive, or in demeanor and behavior and attitude from situations like this. You know what I mean? Then you get to somebody like Sandra Bland, who ran the stop sign or whatever. hold on, because I'm trying to understand what you're saying, Lashes, and they didn't with Trayvon Martin. They didn't make him. They didn't. What clarify this for me? Because I don't want to skim over it. I want to definitely address that. But people get aggressive, and people like Sandra Bland get in there, and she started cussing out that police officer. Honey, all he was gonna give you was a ticket. I watched the video. I watched the video several times. There's 3 different damn videos of the thing. All he was going to do is give you a ticket, but you carrying on. Did he have the right to open up her car? But no, now we're dealing with police officers that feel like because they get in a position, and you know what I'm saying, and that's an isolated situation. Not because she was black, I don't know. Because like I said, you got to be the person. But he didn't initially open up her door because she was a cool, calm, collective, willing participant in her ticket and taking accountability for the things that she did. That's not what happened. He also wasn't the one that what was the exception for Trayvon? There was no, for me there was no exception for Trayvon Martin. He was the new age Rodney King, and that was just the whole thing. There was no exception. And it was a slow crawl from a Mexican, but everybody thought Zimmerman was white in the beginning, but they had to understand that he was Mexican. To now it's all these police officers. And as bad as a police officer, I wouldn't even want to be a police officer, especially a black one, or especially a white one, because people would think that this off the cuff, that this is a type of person that I am, because this is the narrative, and that's not true. But Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, hey Kenny Nika, hey Ken Nika. He wasn't the one that went into that. I'm willing to bet you he wasn't the one that went into that cell and whatever happened to her. He wasn't responsible for that. Isolated situation. You know how many people get pulled over every day? You know how many people sash off the police officers every day? What she did, the only thing that he did that he wasn't supposed to do that was against the law is open up that door. But him trying to give her a ticket for something that she did, not unprecedented. What was unnecessary, which escalated the situation, was her behavior. Whether she's upset because she's a mad black woman or whatever the case may be, that right there is what people might connect with. Oh, but she was just no. Because as a police officer, you have the right. As a police officer, you're entitled to. And as a citizen, you're supposed to follow the laws. And you're not supposed to yes sir, no sir. That's polite to be like that, but you don't have to yes sir, no police officer. But they pull you over. Okay, so what's wrong? Well, you can say, well, I don't know. But at the end of the day, you fight that shit in court, and you go on about your damn day. That's not on being safe, and that's not on being a black person in America. That's on being a civil human being. But say she was upset because people, black boys, have been getting killed. Ramira Rice and Trayvon Martin and all of them before that. And now she can't even control herself amongst police officers. That is the narrative. That becomes the standard, that black people will act like this because these sorts of situations. And I don't want that to be the thing. That's not the standard. We have to act differently. We cannot function in hate and anger because that's what they want, and they have a solution to that. If Kanye West were to die, I would be upset because I would know why exactly. It's not because of cancer. It's not because of a car accident. It's not because of a plane crash. And none of those things will be coincidental, and none of those things will be natural. I would be upset. Because the people are at play, the people are working, and the people that Kanye told us about are winning. So when people talk about karma for Kanye West, let's talk about the people that enacted this governing of black people. Where is the karma for them? That's the beehive. And I'm not talking about Beyonce fans. From the beehive come the distractions and the annoyances and the storylines and the propaganda. We have to understand where it came from. Even with like Trump didn't wake up. He said, "Oh, I'm just going to be nice there. Everybody's going to love me." Oh, you want to do a panel? Should we do a panel? Yeah, people say that. Somebody said that on Facebook. Like, "Oh, this is karma for Kanye West." I'm like, the hate on the black man for wanting to keep his family together, for wanting to shine a light on the situations. We definitely can. And should I? Are we jumping on? Are y'all prepared? Viewers, I got 2 viewers in the thing. Go live together. Host. Is this what I'm doing? Yes, the panel. Okay. Okay. This will be my friend. This will get the this. Listen, this is the last time I'm going. Y'all got to subscribe. We definitely will do panels and things like that. Let me just try to do this for a spell and see what my people got to say. Okay, so I do host live with others. Y'all click the button. Click the guest button so I can add you in. If this is how it goes. Y'all know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm saying? You tried to subscribe. What happened when you tried to subscribe? Where's the guest button? It's down in the bottom right, I think. I don't know what exactly what it say. Do it say join? Let me see what it say. Let me see what it say when it's saying what it's saying. So I can't even go. I can watch a live. Let me see what it say when it's saying what it's saying. You see it? Um, see TikTok error. I bet it did say TikTok error. Live access is needed. Oh, you need 1,000 followers. You do need 1,000 followers to go live. And it said TikTok error. I hate that. So make sure you got to get your 1,000 followers up, and then we can do that. And maybe that's why people don't. I don't know. But that's one of those caveats. You got to have the numbers. That's another reason I need to start promoting my other page more, so that if I get suspended over here, I can just jump right on over there. But that's what that is. What were we just talking about? I would love to open up a panel so I can hear everybody else's, but we can just get it all out there. They don't want to paint Trayvon as aggressive. If they painted Trayvon as aggressive, him getting shot would be justified, because in Florida you can defend yourself, and that's not what they want. That's not it. But like I said, from the picture of the diagram that I drew, Trayvon could have been home after walking over 3 miles to grab 2 snacks. You want to get back in the house. You don't want to engage or carry on with it. And like I said, from the police phone call, there was no call out to him like, hey, you over there in the black. There was none of that. There was simply a walk around, and then there was an altercation. We're talking isolated situations here. And the subscription use, I'm not sure. I just opened it. I'm not exactly sure how any of that works. Subscription, I don't even know where it would be up on here. 100 Halo. I don't know. They can't. No, they can't make it make sense. They can't empower. They can't. They can't empower that. That's like that's not. That's not the thing that gets people angry. Oh, George Zimmerman attacked him, and he came and you know what I'm saying. And George Zimmerman had the right to defend us. Like that. That distorts the story. Or even Ramir Rice, was it the boy who got shot in the back running? If he was running from the police and the thing, that distorts the story. But I mean, who's doing that? But him getting shot in the back, that's white brutality against the police officers. And even if it comes to the defunding the police and the martial law, like that's the domino effect. Not us standing up for ourselves, but being so weak and emotional that we just can't even, and we find ourselves falling victim to, no. I got to figure the subscription issue out. I don't know who to call. This is a one-man band here. I'm just figuring everything out day to day. But that's that sort of situation. And now we're here, and it's taking somebody like Candace Owens. And Candace, I just don't know why she don't do her hair as the black woman. But I mean, maybe that's relatability, and I don't know. And everybody got a part to play. But and she's definitely in the mix of parts to play. In the group of chess pieces on the board. But Diwali's 3, welcome. She's the outlet for people that want to hear somebody who's on his side. And she provides a little bit of balance. And reluctantly, I listen to the things she said because reluctantly, I listen to the news, period. And then I gather my information from multiple sources, and I cross check the sources, and I gather my own conclusions. That's how I work. But she's an alternate perspective, an idea. And that's fair. At the very least, it's fair. Um, but if you can take what she says with a little bit of what you knew and a little bit of this over here, then it's like, okay, well, this paints a more understanding picture and not so one-sided, not so biased. Next up, ID name. Make sure whenever y'all have the chance and the opportunity, make sure y'all go on and get the subscription, because we're gonna level this thing up once we get to the subscriptions, okay? We got to level this thing up. And that's what I'm saying about TikTok. If that's what they're doing, because TikTok don't have the funding that YouTube has, but it does these other things. And YouTube, the live on TikTok I really like this, just because like this, very much so interactive, and we can say your things, and I'm saying things, and we can get engaged, and we do the panels and things like that. I like that a lot more. Also, because I hate editing. It's really fun. It's really nice, and I do feel accomplished when I edit. But it's a bitch, and I'm very much so get on live TV, bust it out for an hour or 8, and give the people what they need, what they're looking for, and then I dip back out. And that's what I like about this. So if they're setting that type of thing up, I appreciate that for TikTok, because that's something YouTube doesn't have, or at least I don't like. YouTube lives are not interactive like this. I don't know, but I like what TikTok is doing, and I hope y'all like it enough to engage and support it. Not support it, but support me, so I can give the givings. But that's just where all of that is. See, and the era is not surprising to me, because people don't get my live notifications, and people don't get, they try to join, they try to friend or follow, and they get error. And that is on, I think, and I don't want to be braggadocious, but I think that is on my growth and my interactions on my page, especially the interactions that I get here on live. And I think TikTok is very mindful in monitoring that, and it's kind of keeping me at bay, because I just reached 40,000 followers, which I'm very thankful for, but it was a slow crawl when I don't think it could have been so slow. Even with my last couple of videos that I put out, I get the niche, but I've got a lot of people, and at least there should be a certain standard of number. I shouldn't have no type of 3-digit nothing when it comes to some views. I'll tell you that. But in time, those things do change. But I've been busting out content consistently for a year, coming up on a year, and I just know there's more, because even like with this Chrissy video not only brought, which I gotta send Chris, somebody send me Chrissy's, I'll find it, Chrissy's information, I'll send her a Christmas card, I swear I would. But it's not even people that like the vintage tea or what's the read. The people have gone through my page and said, oh, where have you been this, that sort of thing. So that's like, TikTok is like, there's a lot of people in here, y'all got names, but it'd be like TikTok user 4,533,000,000, that sort of thing. And you telling me only 2,000, you only telling me 200 people saw this thing? Like, that's a problem. But I also don't want to be a part of the narrative of old black people. But I mean, that is the plight of black creators. Even with like Kanye West, that's the plight of black creators. A lot of people a lot of black creators from yesteryear were silenced. Ideas were stolen from them, revamped, and repurposed like they came from somebody else of a lighter color. And when it comes to the TikTok dances, when it comes to things like that, when it comes to content creators who are not a part of the fabric or of the lineage, the bloodline, or somebody like that, because other people, I'm not saying nobody's names, but who knows where they come from? Nobody is. I don't know nobody. And my content comes from the work I put in to create it for you guys. I don't have no sources. I don't have no inside man. And the fact that I can get this type of interaction, at the very least, is very much so an interaction. Obviously, the numbers are good, but the numbers could be better. And but my interaction when I come onto a live, when I put a video out, and the people are receptive to it and engage with it, TikTok is like, hold on, we didn't get the clearance for this person to get all of this yet, you know? Because at the very least, I should have been at 40,000 people. When I hit 10,000 people, I should have been hitting 40,000 people. And at least 500,000 likes, I'm almost at 500,000. I think I should at least be at 1 million. But I'm happy with the slow growth because I'm happy and I'm appreciative of the people that have come in. We know who they are. And I'm saying to listen, because they sitting there watching they watching my videos. And let me tell you that I don't watch people's things. And somebody talking about the news is probably somebody I'm watching is probably Tasha K. Shout out to Tasha K. And that's just because I like, but the vibe or whatever. And honestly, is really specifically was her and her Wendy Williams stuff. So that's that. But I don't sit and draw any information from anybody. Hey, 434 DJ Chris. I don't draw information from anybody, but my people will send me things like, didn't we just talk about this? Didn't you say, like, and that's par for the course. That's the game. You had to leave and come back. It happens. I understand. That happens. DJ Chris, I'm doing all right. I hit my goal. The people are in here. I'm all right. Support the page and I'll be a little bit better. But so those are the things, and it's the growth, and it's really the growth, and coming into an industry that I am not known in. Thank you for the follow. That'll do it. For the industry that I'm not known in, nobody's like, oh yeah, London Kelly, a blessing. Yes, it is. It really is, and I'm very thankful for it. But like I said, to do the things that I've been doing, saying the things that I've been saying, having ideas that I've been had, and to put them out there, and people identify, connect, or people can respectfully disagree, which I'm all for as well. I love that. And if you walk away, I came up with the new the target of TikTok. Come for one thing and leave with more. I love that. You can come for some tea. It's me, Michaela Shawn, my drag persona. If you come for the tea, and Nene Wish. If you come for the tea, you can leave with a little makeup tip. You can leave with a recipe. You could leave with a laugh. You could leave with so many things. And that's just how I've always been. So I'm thankful for the platform and however TikTok want to use me, because at the end of the day, it's gonna come through. And that's why I say I'm thankful for the Chrissy video, which kind of broke the seal, I think, a little to bring in the influx. Because I was working at about 13,000 for a long time. It took me 5 months to get to 10,000. And then I went to 13,000 in about a month after that. And my content has been, I haven't, nothing drastic. I'm still using the same ring light, same phone, same setting. But it was that, so whatever seal I broke and putting that video out that brought the people in, I'm thankful for that. And I also don't want to be, I'm not one to be a part of a narrative or a stereotype. So I hate to say, oh, black creators on TikTok, when that's what we already know. Like, how many times does somebody have to say that? We already have to know that. But what I said, we have to do something different. And me doing something different is appreciating what I have and accepting the growth how it comes. Because what else can I do? I still ain't got the main line from all the times I've been suspended. I still ain't got the main number of the TikTok corporate. So what can I do? Write a letter that's gonna get lost in the mail? The second they see Locale 88, they're gonna be like, we not reading that. deny, like they do with my appeals. You know, so it is what it is. Going to another platform, just a lot of balancing, and that's a lot of things. And maybe in the next year or two, I will have a better handle on that. With, let me say this more positively, because that's what Kanye said too. We have to speak more positively. Be careful of the words we use, because they're spells, because they spell. Speaking of that, let me say, in the next coming year, I will be more. I will have a better handle on navigating my social medias. Speaking of words, Rihanna dropped her new song. Hold on, because I didn't forgot it. Rihanna's new song is called, Beyonce's song called "Break My Soul," and Rihanna's song is called "I Got the Power." What's it called? Hold on, I got the power. Y'all got it? Y'all got the name of Rihanna's song? "In the Spirit of Words Are Spells." Homeboy friend of, yeah, see, and that's exactly right, Free Indeed. That's it. Found a way to free himself. It don't have nothing to do with anybody else. It has everything to do with Kanye. Lift, not Natasha, that's why you're number one. Lift me up. You won't break my soul, you're gonna lift me up. So now understand, do you understand that? Like, I don't want to seem like I'm grasping, but I mean, that's pretty obvious. You know? I would love to hear Rihanna. I would love to hear new music, but I don't want it if it's gonna be politically driven. Um, I also don't need her. I don't know. The promotion of it is like, girl, just drop it. Just drop it, because you don't have to say anything about it. Rihanna is somebody right now that could drop it, and it's gonna sell more than Beyonce. It's gonna be sold out, played more than Beyonce, but Beyonce had to get hers in. But they all working together. Even with Kanye talking about Drake for the culture, and I think people need to understand that too. That not that people need to understand, because y'all don't have to understand nothing. But let's bring back authentic artistry. But Drake being for the culture, Drake is not even of the culture. Drake doesn't even screw the culture. But that goes into what Kanye's saying is about these big businesses using these people to push the bottom line. Black women love Drake. Drake don't be with no black woman with these braids in his hair. Hair fine as a daisy, but you sitting there with these braids in your hair to affect the culture. That's not okay, but the people love it. Yeah, I told you guys the two. Apparently, she has two songs on the Wakanda soundtrack, so it makes sense that it would be uplifting. But I mean, I guess Beyonce was booked because she did Spirit, and she already had two black movies under her belt, so they're gonna give the next one to Rihanna. Which, didn't I just say Kanye West, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Rihanna? Didn't I say that? Was you here when I said that? Were y'all here when I said that? So that's what we're dealing with. And I would love for Rihanna to come out and do something, but if it's gonna be something like that, do the math. I don't know if I'm not really open to anything. I'm not really open to anything like that. Yeah, I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna listen to it, and I might get hooked to it. Not break my soul, but like the Beyonce. But I haven't listened to the Beyonce album lately in total, because it's like, um, mainly because it just kind of ran its course. No, I haven't heard it. No, I haven't heard it, and I'm sure it'll be a little bop or something. You know, she ain't gonna be singing no. I don't know what it's gonna be. I don't know if she's singing ballads. I also know she's not gonna be sitting up on that stage as thick, as nice as y'all think she looked, being up thick with the mommy weight and all that. She not going on no stage looking like that. Yeah, I'm a renaissance out, and the visuals. Considering the visuals been shot, and we still waiting, like the statute of limitations done ran out for me. You know. Um, and I'm not going to the concert. I don't need to. I've been to one. I don't need to go to, because you go to one, they all the same. And if I want to hear how she put a new riff on it, I'll watch it on YouTube. I'm sure it'll probably be on Netflix because they all working together. Were y'all here when I said that? And it's no love. It's no love lost and it's no hate. It's indifference. Because the opposite of love is not hate. They said it's indifference. And I'm indifferent to the intention. I am indifferent into the message. As a result, I am indifferent to the artist. First of all, it's a horse period. First of all, the album is called Renaissance. And let's consider where we are right now in the world. So then you have to do your research to understand the importance of calling the album Renaissance. You have to understand where we are right now to see how Beyonce's single is Won't Break My Soul. Even all of her songs, Spirit, the song from Ain't Nobody Knocking If They Try. This is also the song of I. Look how we were fighting to stay alive. So when we, that sort of thing. These songs are supposed to be building black people up. Meanwhile, in the news, we're tearing Kanye West the fuck down right now. Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Lotto, they all tearing each other the fuck down right now. They're putting the black people in office. What are they even doing? I don't know what Kataji, I don't know what she's done yet. People so excited to have a black. What is she done? Is she gonna throw Clarence Thomas in jail? What is she gonna do? Are people even paying attention to Clarence Thomas? And all of that, I usually don't get too political, but somebody put me on, got on live, and somebody was like, look at Clarence Thomas and his wife and things like that. And I mean, that's like, those are the bigger bees that come from the beehive. And then, like Supreme Court, like you really don't get no higher than the Supreme Court, okay? That's why they hold the positions that they hold, because the standard, the plan is in motion, and these are the people that see this plan through. Presidents change every 4 years. The president term is for 4 years. But these people have the job for life. That's something to understand. This is hustle personified. Look how we've been fighting to stay alive. So when we win, we will have pride. Do you know how much we have tried? How hard we had to. Do you know how much we've cried? How hard we had to try? Working towards the point. Like I said too, Beyonce been sitting on, even Rihanna, sitting for years and 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 years. And now we drop out. You want to drop albums during this whole time, and that's why I included Drake in the thing, because it's for the culture. These are cultural moments, influencers, to keep people at a certain type of place, spiritually, or distract. You know what I'm saying? Psychologically. And it takes those people to do it. It takes the Drakes, it takes the Beyoncés, it takes the Rihannas, it takes the Lady Gagas, it takes the Adeles, it takes the Sams, it takes the, you know what I mean? It just is the whole thing. It's the whole thing. Even Sam Smith ain't done nothing. Now he drops the most demonic song. We don't got no good R&B because there's no message. There's no message to be put in the R&B. And then whatever the message is to be put in R&B, or the fact, I think with R&B is harder to manipulate. It is very catchy. And nothing like all the Beyonce damn songs is catchy. You don't got no hits What I'm saying. That's exactly what I was about to say. The thing about R&B is harder to manipulate that story for there to be that type of influence in the music, other than I get in my bag when I listen to a Summer Walker thing or something like that. You know what I mean? The poppy, catchy tracks is what we can get your messaging in the music there. I don't really have any interest in Black Panther anymore, too, especially after what you call it died. And then people are going to watch it for like some type of sympathy thing, and now there's this spirit around it. Um, when it's just a movie, and and then Black Power has to be some type of fictitious, you know what I mean, experience. Yeah, Chadwick, some fictitious experience, you know, on a fantasy level. So then not only we like what we see, but we have this not none of that is tangible. None of it is tangible. None of it is tangible. I even want to group what you call it in there. Um, I even want to group Viola Davis's movie in there. When I think Viola Davis is doing so much shucking and jiving as a woman who I think would be a bit more graceful. Um, to give her the Woman King, and you know something about that just doesn't sit right with me. But I'm always on guard on my porch, looking and making sure things cross my lawn in a way that makes sense. And in some form or another, that doesn't make sense. But it's all in the spirit of like, because I was watching as I watched the Lion King. I watched them both. I watched the live action, which was terrible. Then I watched the thing. That's a black story. Daddy's not there. You run away. You by yourself. You're raised by the hood. It's a black story. And then you come back and you get proud. You know what I mean? Whatever. So that's the fairy tale aspect of it. And I realized too, maybe Disney stories that are animal based are black. But that's another video. Because I'm about to get out of here. That's another video. But Beyonce's album with that ushered in this spirit of something. And then we have the Black Panther. And then we have, you know, the Venus Williams, that story. Like, out of all these years, that's the thing. We wait for years and years and years. Serena then did all the things. Venus then did all the things. And now we want to have this movie about the father, coupled with whatever happened with Will Smith, you know, that sort of thing. And now Beyonce and Drake and Rihanna, Kanye West, Wakanda again, the Woman King. Like, for me, it's not about black people getting just due, because black people should have gotten their just due. Black people getting their just due should not be a thing. Just like black people celebrating the shortest month of the year because this is what we have should not be a thing. But that's my opinion. So I don't be up in arms when it's like, oh, black people getting Oscars. We should have been. We should have been. And now they set this stage where Oscars are this so prestigious, such a prestigious award, but we're getting it for the most lackluster things. Halle Berry having sex with a white man, get an Oscar. Jennifer Hudson, all she do is read some damn lines and sing a tune, she got an Oscar. Octavia Spencer, although she's a great actress, there's really nothing really dynamic. So you know what I mean? Because if that's the situation, we should have always been getting Oscars. But we had to separate. They had to separate. This is what's great, and this is what is subpar. When everything has been this, they've been the same. The black actresses that have been getting these Oscars as of lately are not acting any different than the Diane Carrolls or the, Eartha Kitt's and the people. Tell me, that sort of thing. So now I don't care about that now. I'm not even like it's not worth any exchange of energy. It's a notable event because what emotional state are y'all trying to put us in to slide the fuck shit in? Because me, like I said, we got Beyonce wanted to break my soul and everybody, women king and things like that. But like I said, the women in hip hop are at each other's necks. They're not even together. So now we have this discord in the street between Barb's and whatever Cardi B fans, or whatever, or Lotto and like when, like I said, Kanye West wearing a shirt over and Milan don't got nothing to do with what I'm doing right here, and Lotto and Nicki Minaj don't have nothing to do with what y'all got going on over there. Other than the propaganda to emotionally keep us in a place. Oh yes, Mickey Bet, you finally got your subscription. Thank you, honey. Yes, I got my star. Thank you so much. I think my next goal is, I don't know, 5 people. I don't know. Mickey Bear, welcome, honey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are Lux. You got you a Lux badge, I think. Yes, you got you a Lux badge. Yes. Y'all get the badges, and I gotta put some stickers or something up there, some emoticons or something up there. I'm working on it. Welcome, honey. Thank you so much. Um, but yeah, all of those things, like those are the dominoes that are falling, and we just have to make sure we're in the spirit. We're in. Dominoes continue to fall, and we'll never know because the game plan is long. It's extensive, and it usually ends, or there's a new renaissance because the queen died. There's a new renaissance when somebody dies. I believe in the evolution. Yes. And that's the thing. And that's what that's the thing about community. You can encourage your community, you can better your community, you can influence your community when you focus on what's in front of you. Like I said, if the governors and the mayors and the district county men were put in place to create change, that's simply just manipulation of funds. It's a conversation. What you saying? Tootsie baby, hey? That's just a manipulation of funds to put an allocation of funds to be put in the right place at the right time for the right reasons. But that's not what happens. Most times cities and states stay the same. Okay, maybe you got some new streets. And then but at the same time, you're putting up these high rises, apartments or whatever that people can't afford. Not the main percentage of your community. They can't even afford to stay in these places. Now you're bringing in people from other places. You're not catering to your community. Free indeed. I'll see you next time. You'll see me again. Well, only if because this is my last live public. I don't know. I think I want to say that. No error. You won't stop my subscription. I like that. I will not be blocked. Just subscribe to the lives, and this is what we'll do there. But I'm sorry. I got the notification. I think I spent maybe not last night, but the night before last. I got the notification to start a subscription, and I've been seeing the subscriptions on Instagram and stuff like that. But I don't have a huge following on. I don't have no following on Instagram, so I think because I have the following here, they offered that to me, and I'm like, well, I don't want the people. I'm not. The support is great. The support is for the channel. The support is for me. The support keeps everything in motion. But I have a hard time, even when I was doing makeup and stuff like that, I just have a hard time of asking people for money, right? Or even, like requesting money. But when I consider the things I do here on live, it would set the tone, like I said, for more intimacy. We wouldn't have to deal with the haters or somebody coming here. It just sets the tone for more intimacy and a better community. And I like that part about it. Like I said, I love to get on here. I love to go live. I love to interact with you guys. I love all of this. You know what I mean? Okay, to get fair notice. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. But that is very much so that I don't get on live and just be trying to show my body. I don't get on live and just be looking and not. I get on live and something is happening. Okay, even when I don't know what's going to happen, something, and that's when really things happen because I just come on and don't do nothing. Today, obviously, I want to come on and talk about Kanye, but I've been on live. I've done my hair and discussed things. I've been on live and gone through makeup tutorials. I've been on live and cooked. So why not start a subscription? Because I think it might be worth it. We could level up our meals. We could level up the display of content. Might get me a whiteboard, a big something. Because I would love to get it on my TV. I think I can. I have to try all that out. But we're gonna level up the evolution of the Lennon Kelly experience, building the collective up. So all of those things, and like I said too, I'm sure you've realized as you've talked to me, a thought leads to this, leads to that, leads to this, leads to that. I think here's the new one. Leads to this, leads to that, and I'm open to share that with you guys. And if it's a subscription, and the people are more tailored, I don't have a problem. Granted, somebody could weasel their way in here. I don't have a problem sharing my process with you because I think that's what's interesting. Sharing the process of the research or even the process, because then I get on here and I have the insight or even an idea of what people are looking for. Me, not you. I'm winding down. How long have I been on? 2 hours and 16 minutes. The insight of what the people are looking for, even like with the Kanye West conversation, just seeing where people are coming from, seeing, you know what I'm saying, their ideas, seeing what they have to input. I like that. So that I have a more well-rounded delivery for you guys. And it's not just, it's my opinion, no, mostly my opinion, but like I said, it had to be more well-rounded as opposed to wherever I drew my information and source my information from. So that is all in the subscription. That all those things come with the subscription. You can also let me know anything you talk about. What's the top? You can choose the topics in the live of the live. So whether it's whether you want one live to be about makeup, whether you want the live to be about what's the read, whether you want the live on the vintage tea, the what's the read is more like the Kanye West, the current things, and vintage tea is more like I looked into this person and that sort of thing. Get Glam Ho is obviously the makeup. The Kelly Kitchen. Let me know what recipe you want me to whip up in the kitchen. I want to do on Potomac. Robin and Mia, when they went to lunch, Mia had that Caesar salad with shrimp, and I want to try that. And Robin got some crab quesadillas. So that's on the list. So things like that. All a part of the subscription. Because I've been doing it. And y'all be here with me. And I love you for it. But yeah, that was that. It was a great conversation. I mean, if I had the panel up, and we definitely would do panels, especially when we get into topics. But I guess that's what I hate that, because I can understand you can't go live, but if you go to, and that's I got to write a letter to TikTok corporate. I can understand you can't go live with Caesar salad with salmon. That sounds good. I love the Caesar salad, period. But I love romaine lettuce. I can replay lives, yes. And then I have to, because that's how, I mean, I have I have a channel, I have a folder, a playlist for, like, Pluck From My Lives or Lives of London, I think that's what it's called. And my cooking video is well, that last makeup video I put up is from a live. I edited that down, so those things can be done. Like I could take lives and become the content, but if I wouldn't take any subscription lives and put them out because the subscriptions would be just for you guys. Maybe the pictures after the fact, but not take it from there and put it out because that's what you pay for, the exclusivity. So that wouldn't be. So if we talk about it in a live, it's said and done unless y'all over there recording me and then put me up somewhere else. But I mean, I wouldn't do that anymore because it's for the exclusiveness of it. So that's that. That's the direction. That's the direction that TikTok is taking me in. And that's that on that. But you know, like I said, I do many things. Lennon Kelly is a man of many things. Yes, Natasha, thank you. Y'all are so sweet to me. So now I got to get something special for I gotta, you know, just think about something special. But all of that comes, I need money to do something special and to keep it funky fresh. Keep it dressed up to impress so we can party, you know. I have the ability to market the live conversation for increasing. And they said that, and I'm not sure what button I can, like I have the goals up there. I think maybe you could see the goals. But as far as like in videos, I don't know whether I have to promote it in a video. I'm not exactly sure how that works exactly. I love to see that Lux badge like that. Lux gang. How could I listen? You Faith, you already know what it is. You already know what it is. Editing the lives. If I wouldn't, with the lives from the subscription, I wouldn't edit anymore. But if you go live on TikTok, you can replay it and do, you know, you can do whatever you want with it. Does that say something? Am I answering something there? Linda Ballard, welcome. You know what? Your mind's moving fast, and then there's a delay here, so this is moving slow. So it's all at an impasse. It's all at an impasse. But we'll come together. We're gonna meet in the median, all right? We always do. We always do. But I came on. I talked about Kanye. I talked about a lot. I talked about yes. I don't know what else to put, but that's one of them. Come on, y'all. We elevating here. Come and elevate with me. We're on the ground floor of greatness. We're getting up to the first floor. Okay, I don't know how it's levels. Like my favorite building in the country. I really like that building over the Burj Khalifa. But it's the tall building in New York City. I think it's on Park. It's the tallest building in New York City. And I just love it. And one day I'll just go there. I don't know whether I'm browsing or buying, but I just see that for myself. I love a view and that has whatever. But we on the ground floor of that building. I say that to say there's no limit to the greatness. But I know we at the starting points here. And it's things like that get us right to the next level. And I can only do it because of you. I can't even do it without you. So I need you. I need you here with me. Okay? So I could be here for you. Yes, Lux Gemini gang. So I'm always stuttering, trying to get the thought out. But yes, I love to see that we on the way up, elevating and see, elevating and doing the things. and doing the things. And I thank you. None of it goes for naught. I mean, I can't slow down now. I got to pick this thing up. Definitely topics. Well, like I said, I was running through what I talked about because I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna cook something, and then I'm gonna watch a little Netflix. I think I'm gonna watch the new season of The Sinner. But I really need to do more research because I'm trying to paint. I need more connecting dots for this Kanye video. Somebody did say I should do a deep dive on Kanye, and I said, well, Kanye got the thing, but there's another angle. There's another angle, even with the documentary on Netflix about Kanye West. That right there is an angle, and I love an angle. So I need to work on that, and then Yandy and Pat Houston and June Ambrose and Emily Bustamante, and all those things are coming down the turnpike. They will be hitting your For You page very soon. So that was that. I'm trying to do a rundown of what I discussed. Just Kanye murders for the wrong reason, understanding the breadcrumb of information that he leaves behind, not paying attention so much to the individual, but the effects of the individual, because we don't really see on a public scale or we don't really see on a public scale, child. We don't really see on a public scale people like the personalities of ones like Kanye West and Steve Jobs and things like that. So for Kanye, well, I shouldn't use Kanye in that, but people like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk and stuff like that. See, and that's a problem. And that's TikTok's problem. Because I be out there. But you don't see people who are like that played out in the public eye. And and Kanye is like that. So then we get to mixing too many things. Even as the things that he did, people accepted for a long time until they didn't. And that's like R. Kelly, a mastermind of the industry and entertainment and music, but he has these vices. Kanye liked porn and lighter, fairer women, and R. Kelly liked younger women, whatever, so that sort of thing. But was he not? Did he not? You know what I mean? So we can't denounce that. But people are people, and people like and do all sorts of crazy things, You guys will probably wonder what my crazy things are. That'll all come out in the wash. What does that sound? Maybe that's a tease. I don't really do anything crazy, but people just do all sorts of things. People drink. I mean, like Wendy. She like a drink. She like a little bump, whatever she like allegedly. So people do the things. People who are doing something different than what you're doing usually like things that are different than what you like. And that's on a higher scale, with the drugs, whatever, or people who simply live the most minimalist, you know what I mean? But that is that, and we covered a little of the Trayvon and the things and the me, not you, you've been here for those conversations. Today was a bit of, just a bit of repetition, and not coming to Kanye's defense. I'm not against Kanye West. I'm not against what he's doing, what he's saying. That's not my stance at all. And I came on to provide an alternate perspective, shine a light on the control that the people are trying to put him under, and correlation to the people that he addressed in these interviews. So that's that. That's what we did today. And I'm 2 up on my new goal for followers. My new goal for subscribers is 12. I hope I can get 12 more people, and then we just continue to grow this thing until we at the top of that building. Okay, and then we go and then we continue to go up from there. Bring in the cranes and the steel, honey. We building on up, okay? But I love you. I love you so much, and I thank you so much for being here. I can't do it without you. And I'm so appreciative because all you guys could be anywhere else, looking at anybody else, and y'all be here and y'all be looking and listening to me. So I'm gonna go on and try to be productive. Also get a little something in my stomach, and I will definitely see you sooner rather than later.